Hey guys, Moneyman300 back for some more Forza 6 videos here, and we got another Class C tune for the Japanese Street Kings League, and this is the Honda S2000. Probably going to be one of the better cars. In my opinion, I haven't raced League yet because there just isn't enough people to really get a full lobby racing right now, so we're just doing regular C-Class hopper here, and if it does well here, then we'll do just fine in League, but I have a feeling that this S2000 is going to be one of the better ones because it's a pretty good car in C-Class, so here we go. Actually a good car in both D and C. Woo! A little loose off the jump there. Spa in the dark. Oh, that guy pretty much just stopped right there. Yeah, you got to keep going there. You can't flat out stop on that. I don't know how fast people are going to be. This car's pretty quick and will hold its own with the speed cars. It's a good all-arounder. I consider this kind of my all-around car. I don't know about passing makes me nervous in the dark. Trying to give this guy some room on that inside there. Not trying to win the race in the first few turns. That's some advice there. Hard to win the race that early. You know, we're in fifth. Just trying to race clean, let people make some mistakes in front of me. Don't race too hard yet. This car's a little loose, so being a little careful here. Got a decent jump on the guys behind me, so it's really about trying to see if we can't make up some time from these guys right here. Not bad. This is where I should have coming up here is where I should get at least a little advantage. We get out into the wide open a little bit better. I think they're catching me right now. So we'll see if we can cut any distance down on these guys with a little more speed here. Could have went a little faster there. I just wasn't sure how I was going to handle that turn. It turned in pretty quick, so. Pretty good racing again here. This has been a pretty good lobby. I got to get caught up here. I got to drive a little better here. Whoa. Not very good there. Not quite the turn I was looking for. I'm hitting everything a little early. This is coming off I was driving another car that was a little understeery before, so don't hit the wall. They'll let off. I'm just not quite sure how to take all the turns in this car yet. Haven't driven it on this track, so probably just a little cautious. It definitely turns in, as you can see. You're going to get a little oversteer in the mid-turn, which is good. I like that. I'd like to be able to catch up, but I'm actually losing ground, I think. Not that far. I mean, that's the whole group in front of me, pretty much. Ooh, a little wide there. Unintentional. Just catch that runoff area a little bit. Uh-oh, we got a little trouble up here. Still not used to all that turn in I'm getting. I don't think I can catch him, but we can make a run. A little better speed through it that time. Probably not, unless somebody really screws it up here. Alright, good solid clean race though. We're going to finish 5th. Hung in there. Just kind of bad start that first time. Hadn't driven this car a whole lot. Haven't driven this car at all on this track or at all in the multiplayer hopper since I built it. So not bad for a first go out there. We did get to 5th. Thought it ran pretty decent that second lap. You know, minus a couple of turns like that first turn especially. See how we compared in lap time. So we're right there, right? 250s, 251s, 249s, all within, well within reach there. So very, very competitive. Good car, stable, lots of turn in. That's the one thing that I just had to get used to. Probably a couple more goes in this car and we'll be in pretty good shape. So let's hop over in the garage and take a look at our build and tune. Alright, so here we are over in the garage, and first thing I wanted to show is the paint. Make sure I do a better job of doing that when I do have, you know, a paint on there that somebody spent some time to make. I want to make sure that I recognize it, and this paint is by, looks like Ollie's Boy 1, and it is it's a little Gran Turismo replica, so we'll pay a little homage to Gran Turismo. You know, no disrespect to Forza in any way, shape, or form, but I just thought the paint job was super cool. So anyway, let's hop over in and take a look at our build and our tune. And as always, let's start in the conversion area and check our aspiration conversion. We are going to have the centrifugal supercharger. Always use that if you can. Mention it probably in every video I do that I use that's the best part in the game to start with for performance of PI. But that's the only thing we have in the engine swap area, nothing else there. We are going to have the front arrow and the rear arrow, so we got both of those. Let's move on to our tire compound. We have stock tires here. Like I said, this is I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a speed build, but we are sitting on stock tires. Doesn't really need them. Quite a bit of PI to move up one, as you can see here. So I elected to go without anything there, and then we are stock in the front and stock everywhere. So we're all stock there. So I don't know, I guess I classified it as an all-around build, but it's pretty quick, but it's only 5.8 speed. So you know, at the end of the day, that's not, you know, like going to be a ton of speed for C class. And we got some heavy wheels on here. The AF1 18s are the wheels that we're looking for to go there. And then our rim sizes, we got 19-inch on the front and 19-inch on the rear. Next up, let's head over here. We do not have, we just have stock clutch on there, and we have stock transmission. Didn't feel like I needed to be adjustable, and you don't gain any gears by going through these. It's basically, you know, the same transmission, but it gets slightly lighter, and you get adjustable final drive ratio here, and then you get your full adjustable gears. So stock transmission's fine on this one. I wouldn't recommend upgrading that. Next up, we have the sport driveline, a little free weight there, and our race differential. Moving on over to platform and handling, we are going to have race brakes, race springs, race front anti-roll, race rear anti-roll. I don't believe we got anything here. Nope, no chassis. You get some PI by doing this, but I think it was pretty significant weight, if I remember. 124, it's not terrible. I I don't know if you can get enough horsepower back out of this. You could try this. It does generally slightly increase the stability of it. You can see that handling number go up, and it also allegedly helps the braking, but hurts our acceleration a little bit. It's possible you could grab this here and then go get some more horsepower. So you get about 6 PI. I don't know how easy it's going to be to make it fit right. But we do have the full race weight reduction. So this is a difference between building a speed car and an all-arounder. While we didn't do the tires and stuff, we did take the weight out of it. So this thing is pretty light at 2,400 pounds, which really helps with our acceleration and ability to get around the track. Checking out our parts here, we are stock. We have the street fuel system, stock ignition, stock exhaust, stock cams, stock valves, stock engine block. There's probably a lot of stock here. Stock pistons and compression, and stock centrifugal supercharger. And I know I don't have the intercooler or any of those other parts on there. So the only thing we have in here is that fuel system. And it goes up a lot. And this is why, you know, we would have had about 6 PI to play with if we put that roll cage in. And even going up one more, another 7 horsepower is like 8. So I don't think, you know, we might have been able to come here and get an additional 5 or 6 horsepower out of that, and that's it. I don't believe, in my opinion, that makes up for the extra 120 pounds that you get with that roll cage. So that is all of our parts. Let's pop over to the tune here. And we're going to have 28 and 28 for our front and rear tires. There is nothing adjustable with these gears. Negative 2.5 and negative 2.0, and then stock toe at 0.0 and stock caster angle at 5.0. We're going to have 17.42 and 21.46, and this, you know, you notice a little bit I was getting a little sideways going into turns, and in that mid-turn, you might consider, if you're having that same issue, softening up the rear anti-roll bars a little bit. And I was getting a lot of turn-in. That won't really impact turn-in, but I was having no issues with turn-in. I was getting a little bit of oversteer. This is one area where you could potentially drop down that rear a little bit. This is almost tuned like a front-wheel drive a little bit. And then we have 528 and 533. The other thing you could do, and probably should do, you know, after driving it a little bit, is to drop this down. So I would recommend taking this down to around 500, maybe 480 to somewhere between 480 and 500. I think that'll help control the back end of this car just a little bit. Stick it to the ground, drop this back down to maybe even 17 and 17 on here, and I think that's going to make the car just even more stable than it is. So those are a couple of adjustments that you can make there. We are at 9.8, 9.8, 1.8, and 1.8. I wouldn't mess with those. I think I would leave those the same in our damping settings. And then our downforce, I took all the downforce out. Should not need that in there for this build in Class C. Brake balance, I ended at 48%, which I think was pretty balanced, and a 150. That's a your preference on what you like to do for brake pressure. I've been using 150 in Forza 6. And then on to here, another place you might be able to make a little adjustment is to drop this acceleration down to maybe 25 or so. If you're still having problems with wheel spin coming out of the corners, you could change your acceleration differential. Just drop that down, maybe at about 25 or 30 or even down to 20. And that may help with that as well. So that is all of our parts in tune. As always, you can download it. I do have it shared out there. Download it, get all your parts. It's a way to quick buy all your parts, at least that way. And then you can come in here and replicate the tune or make those adjustments I suggested. So anyways, this is a good car. I think this car is really good in league, and overall just a good lobby car. You can use it for rivals. So just a really good all-around car to have in your garage for C class. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.